Today's vlog will be discussing Conundrum, which is a memoir by Jan Morrison that focuses on her life experiences as a transgender woman and her experiences with gender, with identity, with the notion of womanhood, about um, what it means to be a woman, etc. And so she takes these very complex ideas and she uses the lens of her life in order to talk about them and to give examples and to try to explain her experiences. And so the first two-thirds of the book or so, she talks about her life leading up to having surgery, about her feelings of isolation, her inner thoughts, the turmoil that's going on in her mind at the moment during her life, and her feelings of contradiction. And the idea that she feels very isolated, but she also has a very large community. But this last third of the book talks about her surgery and about her life now that she looks more like a traditional woman, or what is like traditional by society. And there are many passages that you could analyze about her new life, but I'm going to pick a passage on page 148 to analyze towards the bottom of the page, and it says, elsewhere in the world, the impact was more abrupt. We are told the social gap between the sexes is narrowing, but I can only report that having, in the second half of my life, in the 20th century, experienced life in both roles. There seems to be, to me, no aspect of existence, no moment of the day, no contact, no arrangement, no response, which is not different for men and for women. These two short sentences really set a tone for the rest of the book, and especially this chapter, since it focuses on her experiences in society now that she's fully transitioned. And so this passage also really speaks to the perception of women and how they're treated in society now that she's experienced it firsthand, and how people, especially men, start to talk in a very condescending manner to her, as well as feeling a shift in the community she's in. And so she's able to see the differences in life from her early life before the surgery and the second part of her life, where she now looks more like a woman, and she can see the very clear differences between the two. It's a very unique experience, especially for her. And the sentence structure is also very striking for this passage, because it doesn't seem to have a lot of imagery in it, or very poeticness to it almost. It's very straightforward, and it might be because of the influence of journalism in her life, and it also might be because the sentences are in a list form. And in this list, she uses the word no 5 times in a row. And the repetition of the word no and the list format helps cement the shift in her viewpoint and her treatment in society. There's a difference in the treatment of those identifying as males and those identifying as females, which she's really starting to understand now. And this sentence, it could have been anywhere in the book. She could put it at the end, she could put it in the beginning, but instead she chose to have it right here in this section where she starts to discuss her transitions and how life is different for her. The public sphere for her has done a complete shift. It doesn't seem safe for her anymore. At least not in a way where she's treated as an equal. She started to feel like she is not equal to the people in her life, the men especially. And this urgency in the two sentences helps to show